They don't want what we know out there.
How a person can go from really almost nothing to becoming a millionaire by owning rental properties.
He would always buy these flip houses, and I just remember thinking, this guy is crazy. Why would he buy that house?
In the past decade, there's been a huge surge in the peer-to-peer short-term rental market.
Become an insider. So you have to know the rules before you get the game.
Every second counts. So make every second count.
Welcome to the Real Estate Jam. Whether you're just beginning or the best of the best, we're glad you're here. We will share successes, failures, and strategies for the action-taking real estate investor. And now to your hosts, JD and Melissa.
Hi guys, welcome to the Real Estate Jam podcast. I'm JD with my wonderful co-host, Melissa.
Hello, JD.
How you doing today?
Happy Monday.
Yep, happy Monday. So I'm super excited to introduce you guys to Bo and Mike. That's Mike Milligan, Bo Kort. They're super successful entrepreneurs that dabble in a little bit of everything. And as they said before we were recording, to fund their real estate addiction. And I think that's great because we definitely need a lot of capital to move forward. Well, you don't need that capital, but you need to know people that have capital. And we're really excited to have you guys on. Thanks for making time for us today.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Well, why don't we start out, if you don't mind, just introducing yourselves to our audience and letting them know why they should pay attention.
All right. I'm Mike Milligan and been self-employed my whole life. Never had a regular job since I was 18. And I've been building businesses. I got into retail through the video stores, then took me into laundromats and car washes. I currently own furniture stores. Bo and I partner up with a great guy in Houston. So we own Houston Motorsports and own a bunch of different businesses that, like you said, fund our addiction to real estate. Because at the end of the day, businesses come and go all day long, but real estate's always there. So the real estate started out for me when we were opening retail locations of whatever it was at that time. We'd sign the lease and either sell the business or go out of business, or the lease would expire or whatever. And looking back over my shoulder with my older brother, we look back and go, the landlord's always smiling because he's always got a fresh lease with a big smile and a happy new guy that wants to jump in there and start their great idea. So we decided, why don't we be the great idea guy, not be the great idea guys, but sign the leases. And so we started out looking at shopping centers, and that was above our pay grade. So we accidentally got into light industrial, and we've branched off since then, but we've kind of circled back around the last 10 years with Bo as our business partner, and we've found there's not a lot of competition. We do own a lot of multifamily. We've had a bunch of Verbos and hated that business and sold all those. And so we've tried everything that's out there, and we're long-term hold guys. So we've never got into the flips. So that's one market that we just never got into. And in hindsight, I always thought we were missing out, but now after everything's run its course, we're like,
Yeah, so thankful that we didn't.
Yeah, so now we just own a bunch of buildings. Yeah. We love living below our means is our thing. No matter how much you make, you live below your means. You take those profits, you buy real estate. We live off our businesses, and we let the real estate profits buy more real estate. And that's what we teach. That's what we coach. And we don't know any other way. And not to poo-poo on anybody else's idea, but that's what we do.
Sure, absolutely. So, when you're talking about light industrial, can you give us an idea of what kind of real estate you're buying today, what you're looking for, and how you're making those decisions?
Right now, we are only an hour and a half from Las Vegas, so we've sent our acquisition team up there, and then they pin a bunch of properties. We also, the majority of our real estate in light industrial is in Houston area, so we sent that same team out to Houston. They pin on about 100 properties a day, and what we're looking for stuff like around the oil refineries. We're looking for buildings for like a small contractor, automotive possibly, but something that's maybe 2, 4, 6,000, 8,000 square feet with a laid out yard, possibly 1 acre up to 5 acres. And we bought multiple units like that. And we go in, we renovate them. The uglier, the better. We like to fix them up, get them leased up, take them back to the local community bank, get them refinanced, and then move on to the next.
Yeah.
So
well, you mentioned your team. I am curious, what kind of team are you guys running, and what does that team look like?
It's a suburban load of 25-year-old to 22-year-old people. And they're hungry. And we have been super fortunate that we've got a team of probably about 5 in that age group from 22 to 25. And they are just hungry as it gets. And they will jump on a plane at any moment. And we take good care of them, and they take good care of us. But they've just been around us on a daily basis. Mike and I always say we're just cowboys. I mean, we don't have a formal education. He doesn't even have a real estate license. I don't have a real estate license. We're just hustlers, and we're addicted to real estate. So we're constantly chasing it. We're coaching people up all the time. We're coaching our team up, and then they're coaching other people up. So our acquisition team is just spreading wider and wider.
Sure, absolutely. Is there anything specifically that you guys are looking for to when you bring somebody on your team? You know, we've hired a ton of people, and we've hired a ton of the wrong people. So I am curious how you guys are building a team that operates at a high level.
What'd you say? What's that?
The thing is every problem you have, anybody else has finding people, we have the same exact problems. The only thing is like I've got a chain of furniture stores right now. He's got a pool building company. We have businesses, fabrication shops of steel, especially service. But the thing is, what we've done is we've always just tried to partner with great people. So it's hard to find great people. Beauty is rare, right? So is greatness. So it's rare. So we're not surprised when it takes 3 people to replace 1. It's just the cost of doing business. I've been doing it. People haven't changed. We're the same since the cavemans, you know, so there were good cavemen and bad cavemen. So the thing is, it just takes, you want to be living the life that you want other people to live and be that type of person. So you got to be doing the right thing. A lot of times when we run into people that are having problems with employees, fellow business owners over the years, you kind of realize you haven't been paying your employees right. You haven't been treating them right. You haven't been doing the right thing.
So part of the problem.
Yeah. So a lot of times, especially before COVID, now things have changed since then. So don't get me wrong. But before that, I just never had those problems the way other people did because I was just trying to treat everyone amazing. So then they don't want to leave. And so then they stay and then you overpay them. And then guess what? They don't leave. And then you start producing. So my thing is people attract to, you know, if you're running great, you're going to run into some great people. When you run into some nerds, yep, you have to get rid of some people. Yep. But guess what? It's just water on a duck's back. And when you do find someone great, it feels so good because that great person has someone behind them too. And then they bring the great person in. So if you look up Philip Orange for Houston Motorsports, he's our partner. He's a way better man than me, and he has attracted really good people. So not only we have a great partner, but he's just made $1 zillion for us, and he's got really good employees that take care of him. So it's all just kind of builds, you know, and once you get the momentum going, then we have people coming to us, wanting to work for us. You know what I mean? So that's part of
attractive. It's not just the money; it's the culture. It's
yes,
you know, like Mike says. Once you Google it and see who Philip Orange is, he's fantastic. I mean, we got to be good friends with him before we got into business. But then we would fly to Houston and go do our real estate chase and look all over for properties. But we'd swing by Houston Motorsports at night. And he sits at the back door, and while 30 of his employees leave as they're walking out the door, he's telling them how much he loves each one of them. And he means it. Yeah. And guess what? They will die on the sword for him, you know, and it's a mutual agreement. So a lot of times when you can't find somebody, you got to be looking at yourself and be self-aware. Like, what am I not giving up? Or am I looking for the perfect person? Well, guess what? No one's going to do everything just like you. Sure. So if you can get 80 to 90% of your philosophies across to somebody, and then you can coach them up, it's amazing what you can get.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Bill's pools, you got 50 people out building pools today. He's sitting here with me.
Yeah.
You know, so there you go.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that leads me to the next thing that I want to talk about is you guys have obviously built some strong partnerships and your partners together. You know, a lot of people don't like getting into the partnerships because they're afraid of it. Do you have any tips for business owners who are looking to partner with other people?
We have 43 LLCs and I have 1 sole proprietor company. So my very first business was 4 partners in a video store. And back then, all you had to do was find a location. You made a lot of money. So But it was a cousin who turned out to be an amazing person that lived in Fargo and came down here to Arizona after I put an initiative to open a store. He was a man of his word, and he gave me an opportunity to buy him out 1 year later, which I bought out the other 3 partners. So I started out with an amazing, great experience as a partner. And I just don't have really bad stories. So
a lot of times I think that a big part of the success is we don't have a hard time standing down. It doesn't have to be Mike's way. It doesn't have to be my way. And I think a lot of times people get so caught up in the small things of trying to fight these little fights where once in a while you just got to stand down. We got a good friend of ours that he says, hey, in a partnership, sometimes you get $11. Someone's got to take the 6, the other one's got to take the 5. You got to be willing to take the 5 sometimes. And we just have a problem with it.
We use that verbiage, and this week there's something happened. He goes, I'll take the 5. So that means he's taking the harder part of the job, because no partnerships 50-50 where the money and the job opportunity is exactly the same. Someone's always going to feel slighted. But if you're all going after the same football and you're good people and someone makes a mistake or someone's working longer, you just make up for it. You work out, but you got to have a positive attitude and really realize that this is what we're here for as a team. And it's not about me. I don't have to have my way. I could give 2 shits. All I know is Philip's selling this. Someone else welding something in somewhere. Someone else is selling sofas for me right now. They're partners and they're probably doing the best they can. And I'm doing this. So I don't know. It works out for us.
Awesome.
But you got to be a good person with that attitude.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that was on your guys' one sheet was how you can fund any real estate transaction or any business opportunity, and private money or getting funding is always a huge topic with everybody that we're talking to. What insight can you guys provide on funding these deals?
A lot of times, we started out getting hard money loans. So I build swimming pools, and for a lot of wealthy individuals that move over from California to Arizona, and business-like minded people like talking business. So I'm always talking about the things that I've got going on, the successes in real estate. And then I bring up the fact that I do borrow hard money from time to time for real estate stuff. And then I give them proof of concept. And then you start to put a social media platform out that gives you a little bit more, credibility. And you would be surprised. We got more people who want to throw money at us than we want to take.
Yeah.
And we're not the type of guys to ever do a syndication or a fund. We've never done any of those. We're cowboys. And so we've just done what we say we're going to do. And whenever you give people back their money, it keeps coming.
Yep.
But you got to be talking about it all the time.
The other thing is we were blessed with some older gentlemen mentors in our life, and a couple of those have passed on now. But what I tell people when they're getting started, it's never the deal. If you have a great deal, you tell in real estate. So if I come to you with a great deal that's 30% of value is going to cash flow in 90 days, and you never have to go to the property, and you've got the money sitting getting 2%, and you followed my social media, we just now met today, would you not at least sit down and listen to my pitch?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what most people don't realize is money is not the problem. You're either not a good person or it's not a good deal. But if anybody that can hear me speaking right now, if you're a great person with a great deal, which means there's plenty of meat on that bone and it's going to cash flow and you don't need a check from me every month, my office is open. You come in, pitch the deal. We'll probably do something. So it's not the money. People get hooked on the money. Every person, I don't care what demographic you're from, somewhere in your relatives is a rich uncle, a cousin, a nephew that isn't making much money on their investments. And people love to help people. Bo and I do this to help people. That's it. I mean, to help someone, to help employees. We made more employees partners and millionaires than I know anybody else.
Yes.
So we're there to help people, but you got to be a good person. You got to go out and find a great deal. And when you bring it to us, guess what? I want more. I've never had enough of anything. So it just works. But hard money is an amazing way to start out. But if the deal's not good, or if you're not good, in other words, you're not going to pay it back, you're never going to get more money from anybody. And then I'm on the board of a community bank and the loan committee. So I've seen behind the curtain. I know how it works. And they do only loan money to great people with great investments. But that's all they do is loan money. So it's not a problem. They want to give you money. People want to give you money. Now you got to put together a deal that makes sense. And that's where most people need help, because a lot of times they just don't understand. Well, when you look on what's for sale and there's an 8-plex, well, anything that anybody can look at is probably not a great deal. But if your grandmother just passed away and your cousins don't want the 8-plex and grandma hasn't raised the rents in 17 years, well, we got something to talk about now. Because even if we give the cousins exactly what they want, we can raise the rents from 17 years ago up to market value and everybody's happy. The cousins got what they wanted, happened to be 30% below value. It's cash flow 90 days later. So a lot of our deals happen like that. We own, 50 different storage complexes, and ours, most of them were knocking on the old guys' doors.
Yep.
Most of them.
75% of them, I bet.
Yeah.
And then negotiate owner carry deals, do some hard money lending.
But even that, like in business and real estate, it's timing, right? I mean, now if you go to multifamily, guess what? There's we get phone calls and letters every single day from people trying to buy what we do.
Yep.
So it didn't used to happen that way. And when we were in the storage, we started getting it there, but now it's just people are flooding the market to anybody that owns anything you want to sell. So it's not a new thing. You got to knock on the door. So you got to it's harder, but it's still available. You just got to be better at it.
Sure. I definitely agree with you guys there. And I think it's really easy to use the excuse, I don't know anybody that has money. I don't know. I mean, that's just a common thing. But really the problem 90% of the time is you got a shit deal and nobody wants it because you can't find the money because there's no money to be made. And instead of owning the responsibility of finding the better deal, it's easier for me to say that, oh, well, I don't know anybody with money and I'm stuck in this situation. Poor me. There's nothing I can do about it.
Exactly right. You just nailed it, man. And so then we try to help people see through that because that's just not the truth, but that's the reality they're living in. But besides that what you just said is you're able to communicate what you just said. A lot of people don't have that communication skill. Sure. So that's what we see too. People that don't have funds in their life or wealth because they can't do this. Mm-hmm. So you have to walk into the room and impress somebody. You know, if you're going to walk into our office, you better have your shit together and you better be able to go, hey, this is the numbers. This is what I've done. This is how long it took me to find this deal. This is what I think. What do you guys think? Mm-hmm. You can go back and forth. But a lot of times we find people that aren't successful don't have communication skills also. So that's part of the pie, right?
You got to get out there and get uncomfortable.
Get uncomfortable.
Sure. A bunch of conversations before you get one that goes right.
Yeah,
exactly.
You guys mentioned that you're buying on owner finance terms or owner carry terms. Can you tell us, what some of those deals look like, or how you're finding people that are open to that, or what that conversation sounds like?
I'll tell you exactly how to identify it. They say no at first, and then most people walk away.
And give them this is the truth. This is what we found.
It's the truth. We get no, and the only reason that you get the no is because they don't understand it, and then they don't want to have you explain it to them because then they feel less than that they don't understand something, and so no one wants to be looked at like they're dumb, so they don't ask the dumb question, and they don't want to say yes to an owner carry because they don't understand it. And then when you're dealing with a realtor or a broker in between, guess what they say? No, they're not interested.
Right.
Because don't even understand.
They don't understand it. They're not really sure how to structure it. Everything in their life, I would think, has a lot more structure. And when you're dealing with the community bank, you're going to have to put 25 to 30% down. They're going to finance it for 20 to 25 years. You're going to be about this interest rate. It's really pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. But when you're dealing with owner financing, you're just doing whatever they're willing to do. Yeah. So it's not real super structured. So a lot of times people don't know where to even start. But it's just like swings in the batting cage. I mean, you just got to go out there. You got to offer it up, and that's where we really started doing our coaching. We got a lot of close friends and just business partners and people that are coming into our office before we ever started social media. And so we would just coach them up because guess what? We only know what we know about doing owner carries. Hey, we'd offer it out there. I'd try and get them to do it for 5% down. Got a lot of no's. Realized I'm probably going to have to come up, but a lot of times I just really try to get in front of the owner rather than dealing with it through the broker, and then understand what their pain points are, and then get them establish a relationship to get them to have confidence and understand that I'm a good guy. I'm going to take care of your building. I'm going to do all of these things. I understand that you've had it for 30 years. We've got a bunch of buildings. We love our buildings. You love your building. You're done with your building. I'm looking for somebody. I want to be just like you someday because I want to sell my building to a nice young guy that wants to go hustle. And, and then you establish that relationship, and then all of a sudden you can start negotiating, start talking about it.
You can't do that over a form letter, and everyone's got a program in a database and send this out and then this. And by numbers, you're going to work. But like what he says, that's exactly how we do it. A lot of our deals take 2 years. We've never heard the word no. ever. It's never no. No, get off my property. All right, I'll see you in 6 months, and we'll walk away. We've never heard no, because what happens are people's lives change. One day, all the property I own, we own 200 pieces of property, or I don't know how many, but we own close to 200 or more than 200.
When it was 150, Mike would say it was 100. When it was 200, he would say 150. So we probably got about 250.
But here's the point. Every single property that I love right now, and I can't believe I own them and all this, they're going to belong to someone else someday. Yep. So guess what? As long as you don't die, you own the property. As soon as you die, death, divorce, or distressed properties, 3 Ds. And guess what? It's in everybody's life. Someone in your life, or you have had a divorce, someone you know has died, and someone else you know has distressed property. So it's out there. They're everywhere. And as soon as you circle back around and realize that the wife has passed, or the husband's passed, or both of them passed, now you're dealing with the kids. Okay, let's talk. So we usually just try to just circle back around, and sometimes it's years in the making. Sometimes it's 2 visits, but it's never really like we meet up with them and do a deal. It doesn't work that way. But you build a relationship, you show respect. People are emotionally attached to their properties, and most people don't realize that. They're emotionally attached. I am too. So I know what it's like. I love my properties.
Sure.
So
yeah, it's great. We've pulled so many deals back from the, from the no, just because it can be, today is a hard no, tomorrow something happens, and you're right back in the game, and they're looking for you. Even if they cussed you yesterday, they might be ready to go today, because life happens to everybody. So in order to do that, in order to see those deals through, you guys have to have some sort of follow-up system or process that you're using. What does that look like in your business?
Honestly, when it starts, now we have a little more sophisticated, but just notes in our phone, to be honest. And then that pops back up. You go, oh, hey, let's call this guy. Remember, we're right there. But we just circle back around with, I use the word, term 6 months, but we could just go with, down the street, the storage guy there. Right. He's an older guy, great guy. He's, I don't know, 60 something. He's got a 3-year-old kid. So his life is different, but he goes, I want to retire, but I got this situation. Guess what? It's going to change. He's getting older. So we've already agreed on a price 3 years ago. Yeah. But I mean, things change, but we're the only ones sell to. So we just follow back. And when we call, why don't you guys come in and say hi? He's still not ready to sell. So, but we do show respect. So when it comes time to do that sell, and people are going to say, yeah, you got lucky and got it for this price. We didn't get lucky. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. But since we love what we do, I know we're going to end up with that storage complex.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, we've got a CRM, but Mike and I are old school. We got whiteboards everywhere. So like lining this room right now, there's 4 whiteboards here. There's 2 in the room next door. There's 20 of them in Texas. There's some in my other office. We have whiteboards up everywhere, and we're constantly just writing up properties, deals and stuff that we've got coming through, and just, we got to be punched in the face all the time. We got so much shit going on. And then our younger staff, they're amazing. They keep us on point. They're like chihuahuas on our heels every day, telling us about this property and that property. What are we going to do? And we need to get on the call because this guy wants to sell, and I'm telling you, he's ready to go. And they keep track of it, and I don't. Yeah.
It definitely sounds like you guys got a lot of things going on. I'm wondering, if somebody in our audience recognizes value out of what you guys have said here today, or they want to find out more about you, more about your coaching, more about that kind of stuff, where can we send them to get more information?
Mike and Bo, DM us on Instagram, or you can actually even text us at 928-605-4335, and we'll get right back to you. But I'd say DMing us on Instagram, Mike and Bo, and or shooting us a text, 928-605-4335.
Awesome. Well, Mike and Bo, I really appreciate it. You have we kind of went all over the place, but every single stop we made, there was a ton of value. So we really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Jam. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information, check out our website, therealestatejam.com, or find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Real Estate Jam. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email at therealestatejam@gmail.com. See you next episode.